I'm thinking I'm going to try and have to, I don't know, maybe, copyright my idea for a player getting drafted, but then you can designate him to play in college one more year. I actually really like that idea. What is up, everybody? It is Jake with Master Football back at it again. Happy Thursday. Thank you so much for being here. If you want to be up to date on all things college football, pro football, Madden, EA college football, anything related to American football, hit that red subscribe button. You will not be disappointed. Also, hit the like button. Hitting both of those things won't cost you anything. All that will cost you is being up to date on everything I just mentioned there. And again, that will also help the channel out a lot. Please do that. Without further ado, let's get into the video. All right, guys, here we are on Thursday. I just watched the game. Okay, I just watched Kansas and Arkansas. Kansas was down big, came back, didn't get the 2-point conversion. Ultimately, Arkansas wins that game. Big 12 was kind of in a rough spot there for some bowl games there, but they ultimately came out and won that game there. Arkansas did. So I didn't want to necessarily talk about that because I actually want to talk about a couple of things. First of all, Las Vegas Raiders fan. Right now, my boy Derek Carr, looks like they're going to be moving on from him. I am now going to be heavily invested and looking forward to a quarterback in the NFL draft. I want to talk about quarterbacks in the NFL draft and college and the connection there because I think there's something that hasn't really been discussed as of yet that I think is a positive of the transfer portal. It talks about the NFL, it talks about the transfer portal, it talks about NIL. They all kind of intersect right here. Ultimately, I think this intersection will make the college football game better. I'll explain why. Let's go. Here we are with ESPN.com. Sources: Wake Forest quarterback Sam Hartman entered the transfer portal. And if you know me, if you ever pay attention to this channel before, you know I love Dave Clawson, slow mesh, love what Sam Hartman does. He's absolutely great out there with that system. However, he is entering the transfer portal. I'm anticipating it for a couple of reasons. He is a very, very highly rated quarterback in that system. Maybe, I know a lot of guys came back this last year, a lot of 6-year guys, so they were a very, very vaunted offense. However, didn't have the season they wanted, had a very close loss to Clemson. They ultimately could have won that game. But I'm telling you, man, right now, I think that he left at a good time. Not to say this is a good time to leave, okay? Don't get mad at me, Demon Deacons fans. You've done great work out there. And I think that, first of all, I saw a lot of names get hired. I didn't see Dave Clawson get hired. That was an absolute mistake. But talking over here from Pete Thamel, record-setting quarterback, Wake Forest, Sam Hartman has entered the NCAA transfer portal as a graduate transfer, sources told ESPN. Hartman set the ACC record for touchdown passes during his career at Wake Forest, throwing for 110 in his 5 seasons. Hartman ranks in second in the ACC history with 12,967 career passing yards, trailing only Phillip Rivers. Hartman started 45 games for the Demon Deacons in his career, leading the Demon Deacons to a 27-18 record. Like I said, it wasn't necessarily his fault. Very, very productive. Defense wasn't so great and things like that. The team isn't as high quality as other teams in the ACC. But again, that's the reason why. Necessity is the mother of invention. Dave Clawson, the slow mesh, he had to innovate in order to be competitive, was pretty competitive with them there. Here's where it gets interesting. I mentioned before, NIL, NFL draft, a transfer portal, all of this kind of intersects right here with this line. Notre Dame is the strong favorite to land Hartman. The Fighting Irish have a need at quarterback with transfer of Drew Pine to Arizona State. According to a source, Hartman is seeking a high-end situation to keep him from declaring for the NFL draft and will take a week to evaluate all his options. NFL scouts project Hartman as a third-day draft pick, likely a 6th or 7th round. So the thought is that he can improve his stock with another year in college. ESPN reached out to 3 NFL scouts about Hartman, and none of them believe Hartman would get picked before the 6th round, if at all. There's a belief among the scouts that playing in a pro-style system would benefit Hartman's NFL projection after playing at Wake Forest, the successful but unconventional slow mesh system. I love the slow mesh system. Okay, almost like a triple option. It's not a RPO, it's a PRO. It's a pass with a run option. The run is the option after the pass. Really, really unique there. So making quick decisions, accurate with the ball, those are 2 things that you can say he's done so far. However, making conventional decisions. Remember, the slow mesh is one of those offenses where offensive linemen in college can go downfield 3 yards, whereas in the pros they can go down 1. So that ability to go down the field 3 yards means you can set up more running lanes. You can go, technically on the slow mesh plays, you can have offensive linemen, 2-3 yards downfield, but then still throw it over the top. NFL, it's only 1. So the slow mesh is much, much more difficult to do that. The Wake staff had been expecting to lose Hartman, as his most likely option for the most of the season was to enter the NFL draft. If Hartman goes to a blue blood school and plenty of high-end interest is expected, he'd likely be able to accumulate significantly more in marketing money or name, image, and likeness deals than he would have in battling to make the back end of an NFL roster. And again, we're going to talk about that here in a second here because I want to make sure I go over a couple of things. The NFL a couple years back had something called they didn't have a rookie wage scale. So that was a situation where I remember Sam Bradford got some insane deal, something like that. The very next year, Cam Newton was the first overall pick, and he was on the rookie wage scale. People were mad at the rookie wage scale because the rookies, the money was accelerating faster than the current players' money was, and then it hadn't caught up at that point. So Sam Bradford was paid more than some NFL starting quarterbacks. However, but the NFL and the NFLPA made a severe mistake because had they just let that situation play out, eventually the Pro Bowl quarterbacks during those re-signings, and again, the rookie wage scale shot up a lot faster than the quarterbacks were re-signing for. They would have shot that salary up anyway. The rookie wage scale actually depressed NFL players' wages. That's a whole nother situation here. Depressed them compared to what they could have been. But the rookie wage scale, what it does do is it gives you the ability to say, if you're at this pick, you get this much money. We'll go to Over the Cap right now to check that out. So here we are with overthecap.com for the NFL draft. These are estimates right now, and you can see right here they've got the Texans as the number 1 pick, Bears, Rams, Broncos, Cardinals, Colts, Falcons, Panthers, Saints, Raiders. It's got its kind of in order there. You can see from the first overall pick all the way up to the 7th overall pick. So you'll see here that the first overall pick for the Texans that's projected, the cap number is going to be $7.3 million. You'll see down here for the Panthers, that's projected to be $4.2 million. But then you come over here to like the 3rd round, you got 1.07. For the Bears, it's 1.068. 4th round, it's 976. 5th round, it's 848, and so on. So you can see here that Sam Hartman was projected to go 6th round or later, possibly even after that. So he was projected for, at best, 800,000, 808, 809, 801. And then you come over here to the 7th round, 780, 781, 778, and things like that. So he decides to come back. And it was a pretty good decision. From On3.com, it's got the top Notre Dame NIL players. Now, this is their On3 NIL evaluation. That is not to say they have that necessarily, but it is something that says that's actually an estimate here. So they see Michael Mayer, who's projected probably going to be a first-round tight end, gets $875 million or $875,000. Isaiah Foskey, a first-round, more than likely maybe even second-round defensive lineman, edge rusher, $817,000. So you see that there. So non-quarterback, $800,000, non-quarterback, $800,000. Can you imagine what Notre Dame quarterback could get, especially one that has 110 career passes? You're seeing that there, $875. So that's one of those situations where, again, he probably could have been, 6th rounder and get that much money. Michael Mayer is making that much right now. Sam Hartman thinks he could probably do better than that. And again, more than likely, Sam Hartman is talking to a couple different things here. So Sam is talking to the NFL Draft Advisory Board. He's talking to his agents. He's talking to the schools because he's got 5 years. He's good to go. He has 1 more year of eligibility, but he's kind of weighing. Do I want to come back to college? Will I make more money there? Will my stock go up if I get a pro style offense, experience, things like that. But I know that the NFL Draft Advisory Board does a lot of good work down here. So basically what it does is this. The number of underclassmen declaring for the draft rose from 56 in 2011 to 98 in 2014, setting a record for after each year. After 37% of those declaring in the 2014 draft went undrafted, and 8 schools had more than 5 underclassmen declaring, the board altered its procedure. As of 2015, it offers 3 opinions. First round is where you think you're going to go. Second round, or neither. And neither, they say, which means the board advises the player to stay in school. I really like that option there because there's plenty of players who enter. There's plenty of players that don't get picked. And it's just one of those things where, you want to make sure you don't screw yourself out of some college eligibility now with NIL money attached to it. And you don't want to, go undrafted. Then you'll be moving around. Again, half the league is undrafted, so that's not a big deal. But you could be screwing yourself out of NIL money in college by entering pro and then not getting drafted. One of those situations you want to avoid. Now, to be fair, I want to see this as an option eventually at some point here. So the NFL and NBA draft allow undrafted underclassmen to return to college. I think for the NBA draft, I like the option where they can return and actually play a couple years in college. The NFL, 3 years, return 1 more. I don't mind that, but I don't want them to be coming back for a couple more years. So you see here that basically it says that a lot of teams here, the vast majority of early entrants, a list that included 247 college kids, went undrafted in the NFL draft, and all 58 basketball prospects had their name called, and including many who had the jump before the NCAA eligibility was exhausted. So I think, again, that counts both NBA and NFL. But if you think about that, so 247 minus 58, so like 190 guys went early, didn't get drafted. One of those huge situations there. I personally think they should have the ability to go back to college, even if they sign with an agent. At this point, NIL, it was trying to avoid that whole situation. You should be able to kind of reserve yourself. Maybe even, let's just say you're Sam Hartman's case, you get picked in the 7th round, and then you get paid, I don't know, maybe like a practice squad amount, but they declare you to be at the college where you're at. So they're like, listen, we want to draft you, we want your rights, but we want you to stay in college and get one more year of experience. I actually really like that idea. It comes down here and it mentions a couple things. Those who are not drafted in the MLB draft, baseball, or aren't pleased where they were picked, go on to college. 3 years later, following what would be the junior year of their college, they re-enter the draft pool and can be picked again. So I think that if you get drafted, you should be able to retain your rights, but the team can designate you, like, we want you to stay in college, we want you to go to a amateur league or something like that, USFL, not the USFL, that is a professional league, but basically want to go to a minor league, or we want you to be on the practice squad 1, 2, or 3, depending upon what they see. Again, I told you before, I think there's a reason why the XFL, the AFA, USFL are all popping up. They want to get bought out by the NFL because the NFL wants a developmental league for the guys that just quite aren't ready yet. Sam Hartman falls in that spot right there. However, Sam Hartman, weighing out his options, best option right now, probably go to Notre Dame, play 1 year, play in a pro-style system, and probably get like $1.5 to $2 million. Again, I know a lot of people don't like the transfer portal. It feels a little icky. A lot of people that enter the transfer portal don't necessarily get picked. There's a lot of issues with that. However, this is one instance where top flight player in college might not be the best player in the NFL, would probably get stuck on some practice squad here and there. I don't know. Give an opportunity to come back, make more money in college than he would in the NFL, improve the college product, everything like that. Everybody wins. I really like that. I'm thinking I'm going to try and have to, I don't know, maybe, copyright my idea for a player getting drafted, but then you can designate him to play in college 1 more year. I actually really like that idea. Here's a question for you guys. So are you a fan of the NIL more now that we see it kind of play itself out? And again, I know some people don't like it, but I want to get your perspective here. Do you at least see my point? Does it make more sense? Anything like that? I appreciate it. Get in the comments and let me know right now. All right, guys, that's it. Thank you so much for being here. Please like, share, comment, subscribe, do all that stuff. I appreciate it. So for me, guys, I will see you guys later. I am out.